mentioned Carmen,
Yes.
which is one of my favorite operas of all time. I love the music. I think that both the soprano role and Carmen, just typically more of a mezzo-soprano role, I think they're both some of the best writing in the opera world, at least that's happening right now that people perform regularly. So yeah, I mean, that would be great to do that. Either Micaela or Carmen. Although I probably would, I think I've sung both roles years ago when I was in college. But it was just as kind of opera scenes, you know. So we didn't do like a full stage production of Carmen.
Right.
But I loved it. I enjoyed it very much. It was a real challenge to learn the French. It really depends on the project. In terms of how much time I spend practicing, it's not enough, of course, because none of us ever practice enough. When I was studying for my degree, I would practice anywhere between 2 hours and 8 hours a day, including all of the time that I was working with choirs and doing opera workshop rehearsals, and then my own work on my own solo stuff. So I would say nowadays I probably spent maybe an hour a day. But when I was preparing for Therion, I was spending literally hours and hours and hours listening and then singing back and listening and singing back because I had so much repertoire to learn in such a short amount of time.
Right.
I had to learn everything in I think about a month and a half. So I was practicing roughly 10 hours a day. Let's see. The first time I ever had a solo, I was 5. And it was in my church. Because my grandfather was the music minister and very involved in the church program. So I've been singing ever since then. Of course, I didn't really decide to study it as a job until I was in college. Until I was, I think, 19 or 20. And what happened is I had lost a family member. And when he passed away, I realized I needed to do something that I love to do rather than just, get a degree in something that didn't matter to me. So I was a music major and a criminal justice minor. Well, back then I don't think I really thought very clearly about exactly what I wanted to do with music, except maybe do it on the side and sing maybe some opera choruses. And that's it. I didn't have big ideas about it. But what happened is, as I studied, I kept going. I realized that music to me is extremely important. It's the passion that is something that's been with me all my life. So I feel like music is kind of something that expresses me as an individual, not just doing a job.
Right.
Though it is a job. I've done a little bit. I have a friend, Martin McGuff. He's actually from Minnesota, and we worked together in the past where he gave me music that he had already written and sent me MP3s basically. I listened to it, and he asked me to write lyrics and melody to go with it. So I've done a little of that. I've written a lot of poetry over the years, personal writings. But I haven't really composed that much music. Mostly what I've done is arrangements or instrumentations or things like that. But in terms of tricks, I don't think there are any tricks to singing. I think that it's basic good technique that you have to use in order to sing the best. And basically for me, if you would like to know, it's 3 basic elements to singing. One of them is breathing, the second is posture, and the third is production. If you do these 3 things properly, there's a lot of detail that goes into it. Those are your 3 elements, and as long as you're doing those things properly, there is no trick. It's just good technique. Simple as that.
Okay. Okay. Clear enough.
However, I would like to interject. I'd love to know some other singers' tricks who can do like this really heavy belt thing. It's not something that is easy for me. I'd love to be able to do it, but
Right. Yeah.
it's not really my vocal sound. You know, I honestly don't know enough about the classical singer / metal scene because I live in the U.S. and there's almost nothing like it here.
Right.
So for me, when I got Therion, I've been singing with a group called Ace Medeva, which was doing something similar because I was using my classical voice, but also using more of a, I don't know, something else, of a rock sound, I guess. Because there's nothing like it over here. So, I mean, some of the people I thought were interesting, there's Tarja, of course, who used to sing with Nightwish, but she's now doing her solo thing. And there's Fru, of course, who did After Forever, but now she's in Revamp. And I think these two women both have made a lot of contribution to the genre. And I think they both made a lot of important contribution.
Right.
I know I've heard a lot of good things about the girl from previous singer from Tristania.
Mm-hmm.
And someone was telling me also, I think it was one of you guys actually, that the current singer from Tristania is pretty good too. So I think they have pretty good. Oh, and actually, I met somebody recently. She's in this teeny little group based in Greece. Her name is Nina, and she has a lovely voice. Really nice. I'd like to see her explore. So. I am always collaborating. I think it's always fun to get together with somebody. I mean, for me, I get to collaborate every time that I go on stage with Therion because they're singers. So it's really a lot of fun. Well, I think that she, has created something, a very strong persona. And I haven't ever actually met her. I've seen her a few times at festivals, but she's quiet, I think, backstage. So she's not the kind of person I can be like, hey, how's it going? So, and I think that maybe part of that is also because, I'm just a singer with Therion. And, I don't have this following like she does or has in the past.
Right.
So I don't know. Am I cool enough to hang out with Tarja? I don't know about that. Probably. I think probably, other than the fact that I'd like to be able to belt much better than I do, I'd also like to never get sick, ever, and always have 100% voice. But of course, that's not the way life is. But I'll tell you, that's one of the most difficult things as a musician to experience, is to go on stage knowing that you cannot get everything that all the people who came there want you to get. So it's hard. That's really hard. I got pretty sick on the last tour for a couple nights. I did my best, but I felt like, I'm sorry, everybody.